Now, here's this old lady called Monica Richardson who is saying, is AA Alcoholics Anonymous the mother of all cults in America? And like I said, these basically, let me talk to you about Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous has changed over the years, but it still has the 12 steps. Okay, and it still has sponsors. Now, in AA now, it's okay to crosstalk. So you can crosstalk during a meeting, which means that you can talk about crack use during an AA meeting. During the meeting, you can do this. In your talk, when you're in front of the AA group making a talk, you can talk about crack cocaine, shooting heroin, smoking marijuana. It's okay. It's okay. Now, in the old days, it used to be bad news. You can't do that. No. You got to talk about just alcohol. But they got crosstalk at meetings now, which I knew it was going to happen eventually. To hit bottom, there's no such thing as hitting bottom anymore. You've got people that basically are social drinkers that started to have problems going to AA to get sober. The whole thing that I'm going to say is that AA and the 12 Steps was founded on the old Oxford group. There have been tons and tons and tons of people that have gotten sober. When I talk about the 12 steps, it's simple. You have to realize that you're powerless. People don't like to do that. They don't want to say they're powerless over anything at all, period. Are there people out there that can white knuckle their sobriety and quit drinking? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are people that have gone into the Christian church and brought in Jesus into their lives and got sober and not drink again. AA is just one vehicle of very many ways that you can stay sober. But have you effectively changed your life? Okay, have you? Let me explain something to a person that's addicted. A person that has an addiction, it's cunning, powerful, and has control over their life. If you don't believe me, you can go on YouTube and look at some heroin addicts and some crack addicts. It has power over them. They are powerless. They have no choice but to do that drug every single day. Cigarette smokers are powerless too. Extremely powerless. How many times have you tried to quit smoking? Okay, so basically the old Oxford group knew that you had to be powerless. You had to find a power greater than you to help you along your path to stay sober. Now, the whole thing is that most people are against anything that has to do with religion. Okay, now this guy in here, and basically, Monica Richardson is a joke. This has been 2 years ago, and she's got 2-point-something thousand subscribers, and she had 5,000 views in 2 years. But the whole thing is this. Landon, whatever he is, I'm basically saying that he's an atheist. He says far from it. The AA program as I said, through the 12 steps, I've said therapists need to look at the 12 steps. Look at them. You are powerless over and people debate if it's a disease or not. There are certain components of genes that you can be either addicted or not addicted. Okay? And I've always said that really smoking cigarettes, I used to say that everybody that smokes that gets addicted to nicotine it's a disease, and they have not always the case in the fact when you talk about people that smoke cigarettes. I knew a guy that smoked for 3 years, and he said, I just got tired of it and I just quit. Never had a day's problems, no withdrawals, no nothing. Okay, now when I talk about the 12 steps, I'm talking about a way to change your life and to live it better. Monica Richardson probably is a very hateful, very disturbed woman that just doesn't really enjoy life in the fact of helping other people, to reach out, get your money and give it to the poor, go to homeless shelters and work, on the soup kitchen. Helping people through service work is a way to grow as an individual. Now, I also had problems with Alcoholics Anonymous in the fact that it started to get away from certain things. But the whole fact remains is that I had a positive experience. There's a lot of people out there that have had a positive experience when it comes to Alcoholics Anonymous. Let me say something about this woman here.
Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Monica Richardson's podcast. Easy. So you actually saw some things like right away that seemed crazy to you, and so what was some of that stuff?
Well, I think first of all, the audience needs to know I was mandated to treatment for a year because I had almost killed some people drunk driving. And at that point in my life, I was also indoctrinated in AA because I came from an AA family. My mother was a certified alcoholism counselor. My sister ran a therapeutic community.
Wow.
Several of my siblings were in rehabs and had failed. And basically my whole existence was wrapped up in the cult of AA. And
let me explain something to people. To me, Christianity is a cult. Most definitely a cult. And the fact remains is that, and people go, oh, no, not my Christianity, not Jesus, it's not a cult, it's the true religion. Guys, you go to a church, they're going to brainwash you into believing something that is just made up. It is made up. Is Jesus a real man? Absolutely, no doubt about it. He's a real man. And he was born of a regular mom named Mary. She was not a virgin. And she had Jesus. Jesus was ordained. Okay? It's kind of like a prodigy. A person that's a prodigy is ordained in his musicianship. Jesus was ordained to be a pastor. And what he did was, he basically told everybody a better way to live. A better way to live. And that's the way I see Jesus. As a person that did that. And was very effective at it. Dying on the cross? I don't know. I wasn't there. There are reports in the Bible of him being there. But was he? And being a cult means basically that you are indoctrinated when you go into the church. You can't question the church. You can't question anything. You have to believe it, and you have to do it. Now, back to the 12 steps of AA. I can understand a guy that basically his genes, his mom and his dad's in the fellowship, I think he was talking about. This guy was born to be an alcoholic. So he drinks his alcohol and gets in trouble with drinking and driving, mandated to go to AA. This guy is really pissed off. He is mad. And you get an alcoholic that's mad and send him to AA for a year, he's going to be a miserable puppy dog. He's going to be miserable. What Martha Richardson doesn't know is that you have to grow as an individual. You have to grow. And that's exactly what he did, or what I did. Not everybody that goes to AA has to stay in the program for the rest of their life. And AA will tell you that. You don't have to. Like I said, I did what I was supposed to do, and I retired from the fellowship. I did what I was supposed to do. I worked the steps 3 times, and I worked step 3 and 4 twice. Like I said, people don't even have a clue. It's like I said, alcoholics hate AA. Let's face it, they don't want to stop drinking, ever stop drinking. Ever. But if someone's going to call Alcoholics Anonymous, which bases off the old Methodist Church, okay, also from the 12 steps, the whole thing that I'm going to say is that Christianity to me is much deeper as a cult than AA will ever be. Because I'm serious, guys, when you go to church as a child, you are brainwashed into believing things that just aren't true. They aren't true. But you're basically told this. And I literally grew up in this light that Jesus was this Son of God, was a God. I mean, seriously, Jesus was a God. And it's kind of like I said, there were little things that I started to question. In the AA fellowship, there's nothing wrong with questioning the fellowship. And as I've always said, you can get sober there or get sober somewhere else. I'm not saying that Alcoholics Anonymous is the only way to get sober. Well, if you do this, if you decide to white knuckle your sobriety and you make it and you go to therapy, that's just as effective. Just as effective. Now, people don't like my views of Christianity, but if you really look at the Bible deeply, you will see just how sensationalized Jesus' life was and how they built him up to be bigger than he actually is. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog, and like I said, I'm still not doing well physically at all. Peace, guys.